Hello, my name is Martin Fahn, and I am a part of the IBM Spectrum Protect Plus technical team. And welcome to another video demonstration of IBM SPP. In this demonstration, we're going to be talking about Microsoft Exchange Restore through SPP, specifically mailbox and message restore, granular restore capabilities that are available within SPP. To get started, let's go ahead and define an Exchange Restore. To do so, I can log into my SPP interface and navigate down to the Manage Protection, Applications, Exchange, Restore screen. Within the Exchange Restore screen, I can see a list of available instances that I had protected previously over on the left-hand side. I can also see a list of available databases that I'm looking to restore over here on the right-hand side. Now, if I want to search for an available database, I can search for it by typing in a database name here, or filter the view between standalone failover cluster databases or DAGs. In this case, I'm just going to simply drill down into my Exchange 171 instance, and I can see here a database that I protected previously and select that database and add it to the restore list of databases that I would like to restore. Alternatively, I can also drill down and expand the database to select an individual recovery point in time that I want to recover back to. Notice here that it's showing me the sites and the type of storage that database snapshot is located on. In this case, these snapshots are located on my primary site's vSnap server. Alternatively, I can filter for additional snapshots that have been offloaded to cloud servers or Spectrum Protect repository servers, as well as filter them by the sites that those snapshots are located in. At this point, I'm able to click the restore job to kick off my restore of the latest point in time snapshot. I just want to take you through a few options here on the types of restores that we can run. So Exchange supports 4 different restore types, from test, production, instant access, and granular restore. Test and instant access and granular restore are similar in that they are going to be presenting temporary storage LUNs or devices to the Exchange server that we are mounting or attempting to restore the database to. A test mode restore will allow us to create a new database by a different name. For example, I want to name that database with an underscore new suffix, whereas a granular restore will automatically choose a naming convention with an underscore of RDB, indicating recovery database that can be made available and browsable through our data protection for Exchange management console utility used for granular level recovery. An instant access restore is different from both granular and test mode restore in that it doesn't actually create the database for you or mount the database. All it does is it presents the LUNs and make those file systems available to the Exchange server. And finally, a production mode restore allows you to restore those database files to production storage. So your vSnap server or your cloud repository or your Spectrum Protect server are not used as the primary storage for that restoration or that backing point. I can go ahead and select the destination where I want to recover this database to. So for example, I can choose the original instance or select an alternate instance. Notice that the primary instance from what I backed up to is grayed out when I select an alternate instance. So in this case, I can choose to recover back to my secondary Exchange server, Lab 172. And finally, I can choose the recovery options. So a no recovery will just simply leave that database in a roll forward pending state, where I can manually apply or roll forward those logs at my leisure. A recover until the end of backup will roll forward the logs until the point in time in which we have protected the database. Recover until the end of available logs will allow us to continue to roll forward with any additional log files that might already exist on the Exchange server, or a recover until a specific point in time will allow me to select a date time with which I want to recover back to. So for example, I can choose any date in the past, any time within the past, and SPP is going to be smart enough to mount up the necessary snapshots necessary for that recovery, and roll forward to that point in time. Under application options here, you can see that I have the ability to overwrite existing database if it's applicable, or increase the maximum number of parallel streams per database. Under advanced options, I'm able to clean up the restore if at any point it fails, and trying to present up the LUN and create the database. I can leave this unchecked if I want to troubleshoot at what point it failed and try some manual operations to see if I can make that database restore succeed. I can also allow session overwrites, which would allow for me to overwrite an existing test mode session, for example, if I'm running this job, restore job on a recurring basis. And finally, my final option is to continue with the restores of other databases. So if I had a list of databases that I'd want to restore, and one of them had failed, I can go ahead and continue to restore the others that are in my restore list. Finally, the script settings allow me to run a pre or postscript, or use conditional logic to continue or fail in the event that one of these scripts do fail. So in saving out this restore definition, I can go ahead back up to the top and run this restore by just clicking on that restore button. So in this case, what I did previously was run a Granular restore to an alternate instance, my lab exchange 172 server, and it's going to present itself as that new database name with that RDB suffix that I can use to perform a Granular mode restore through my exchange management tools. So when I run this restore, at the bottom I can see that job session has been run. I can see that a resource is now active, which means that my snapshot has now been presented up as a LUN and made available to my Exchange server. I can go to my Exchange server, a remote desktop in, and I can connect to the Exchange admin console here, and you can actually see the lab Exchange 172 server. If we look at the details of the databases connected and mounted to that server, we can see that our recovery database is indeed mounted and online. At this point, I can launch into my message recovery tool, which is available as part of the IBM Spectrum Protect suite. So I can launch into my DP for Exchange Management Console and browse that database file that's located within the snapshot. Now, because it takes some time to index and build that database, I've already gone ahead and launched this tool. And you can see that within the tool, I can browse and drill down through the dashboard into my protect and recover data, and it's already targeted the source database that has been mounted to that Exchange server. So by drilling down into it, I can drill down into the mailbox and into the individual folders within the mailbox. And by selecting the folders or selecting the individual messages, I can drop them into a new destination on another Exchange server, or just simply select the messages and restore them directly using any of these message actions over here on the right hand side. Thank you for your time with the demo. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at www.ibm.com. Thank you.